Hey guys, it's Ray, and today I'm going to be going over the mods that I use for World of Warships and also showcase the Aslain themed Shinano camouflage that I used in my recent video. A lot of people asked about it, so I'll just go ahead and make a separate video right now going over those things. So the mods that I use is all from here. It's called Aslains.com. This is the one that everyone basically uses over the modifications installer from Wargaming. Basically down here, there's a World of Warships mod pack installation section right here, and you can select the download link. And now when you do select the download link, this prompt will show up. Windows is protecting your PC. It's I don't know why it does this. I guess if you use it as like some kind of dangerous file, but it really isn't. More info and then run anyway. You just ignore that and close out the window. So select the English that you want. We're going to select English and press OK. Initializing, checking for updates, and it'll just pop up with this little window here. You want to select Show Preview Window so you can see exactly what you're looking at. It'll show up with like images on the right side. Next, this page will just be going over the installation and uninstalling, how you want to get through with that. The recent updates to this mod pack installer. So there's a lot of updates that happens with this. So as you can see here, back on 14.0, it'll show up with what, like 14.1 rather. 14.1 is number 3, right? Number 4, and now we're on number 5 update for this patch. It frequently updates, and so it's something you got to keep a lookout for, especially if a mod is on here that you installed and it's not updated by the modder themselves. Then it'll cause issues within this mod pack, but it is what it is. You just got to keep a lookout for it. Select next, select where your World of Warships is installed. Next. Now here we go. So this is where all the fun happens. You can pick one, select, and see what you want to use. Taro's team panels, for example, it'll show up images, right? And you can select down here. It'll show the mod's website, and it'll lead you to there. There's more descriptions and such right there. So I use the team panels. I'm gonna go through mainly the important stuff. Team panels I do use every now and then, on and off. Taro is just a great modder. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but if you haven't, then you're missing out. He's a great modder in the community. He contributes a lot, and definitely try out his mods. Next, we go down to markers. I use a few things here. Speed indicator, because I do forget. It's sometimes hard to see the smoke funnels, and so this gives me a little visual indicator instead of just actually looking for smoke. You can just see what kind of speed they're going. Next is going to be the spotted indicator. Let your teammates show you that they're spotted or not. You can check changes in the settings when you press tab. So it helps a lot when you're destroyed or someone is spotted and you're not. So you can actually figure out where the enemy ships are. The smoke marker is also made by Taro. This shows up on the minimap and on your screen. It'll show little icons of each smoke puff and also show their timers and such. I use the minimap by Taro as well. This is customizable. It uses these lines here are just RPF visual indicators. You can see your RPF, and you can also see your teammates' RPF. It'll just align properly, and everything looks like vanilla, which is very nice. And you can also customize the colors if you so wish. Submarine pingers on the minimap, also made by Taro. Visual indicator, when the submarine uses their sonar on anyone, it'll show up on the minimap, and it'll show up on your screen as well. On the water. Improve chat. I like to use this because it lets me see the ship first and then the player. So I know who is doing what, who is typing and stuff like that. It's very nice. Going out to Battle UI. The penetration calculator is also done by Taro. It'll show you visually the penetration amount. So HE, SAP, pen, and the AP pen is all here. You just gotta hover your mouse over this to show this little window here. It'll show the ricochet angles, all this special stuff, how your pen angles are, right? So like Des Moines, Petropavlovsk, anything like that. It'll show you a visual diagram of your penetration angle. Your regeneration assistant mod is basically a indicator to show you how much you can heal and how much when is a good time to heal and when it isn't. If you're overcapping on the heal amount, it'll show up as a orangish yellowish color. You could just press heal there. the 3D radio position finding. This is the RPF mod that shows you on your screen. Instead of just relying on this little curved line up here in the sky, some map it does get a little bit difficult to see. It'll just show up on the water as well. Intuitions is the mod that shows you how many people are RPFing you instead of you RPFing them. This will show how many people have you RPF'd. Gives you an indication of, especially in clan battles or anything like ranked, if they're RPFing you, then clearly you are the closest thing to them. And if your teammates are not RPF, that lets you know to be a little bit wary and try to figure out who is on which flank and such. Let's see here. Remove camera instructions. This is just when you're on the spectator screen after you die, or if you're spectating a match, those weird controls, tutorial things on the bottom of the screen telling you, which control does what. That all goes away. It's just a clean screen after that. The AFK monitor is very helpful. I also run this. Lets you know who is not connected or who is AFK. Now, this is, if someone just Alt F4s, this will show them as orange or yellow, or if they just have not connected yet. So this lets you know, it gives you a pretty strong advantage, but this is what I use as well. It helps when I'm playing aircraft carrier or literally anything to either burn them down, focus them down early, or just not have to angle against an AFK player. Aircraft carrier helpers, I use the Squadron Consumable Assistant because it keeps track of fighters, and it also keeps track of your special consumables, which in this case, like S6 or Shinano, it has the smoke consumable counter as well. So it's very nice to have. CV Telegraph, this basically lets you know the speed, reversing, full speeding, or turning of your carrier. It shows up on the bottom left side where the normal ship controls are. I don't know why when you're flying around and controlling a squadron, all that UI gets removed for some reason. So this will bring it back and you can actually see what your autopilot is doing and what your carrier is doing. CVPOI static indicator. This is basically removing this arrow thing that's like hovering your screen, and instead it replaces it with this indicator here. Just move to the left side of the panel. CV state. It's just right here. You can actually just see where your ship is, and it's not like the little white arrow being flying around on your screen. And numerical HP squadrons is very important for things like fighters, how much fighter HP is remaining, how much planes or how much HP your planes have. Very good to keep track of these kind of stuff. It's just nice to have a visual indicator of what you're looking at. Shot timer. When you shoot, timer usually takes 20 seconds to go dark. So this is what it's keeping track of. Radar timer, how long you're radar for to keep track of who's radaring you. Reload timer can be more detailed of how much reload you actually have. Let's go down a little bit more. I'll remove the unwanted text from map view, the tactical map. I use this because, when I play carriers, it gets really annoying. It feels all cluttered on the right side. It's for all this large essays is on the right side there, so I use this mod to remove that. I like to keep it clean. I just feel like it's more distracting than helpful. Crosshair section, I only use right here. Remove the blur effects, basically helpful for when you're playing carriers or when you're tracking shells. Now the blur effect does get a little bit distorted, and it kind of causes me to be sick, so that's why I use this mod. I don't know why the blur effect is there, or even if it's there, it's so heavy, so I use this mod to remove that. The camera mods, I'd use Yazcom or Yazam, 43% more zoom out. It's just an FOV thing, and it feels like it's more comfortable this way. Port interface doesn't really matter, just pick what you want. I use things like, equipment tab improvements, server population, resources, so I don't have to go into Army to see how much steel and coal and research bureau points I have. Other things like the auto container collector, you can select what kind of container you want. For me, I pick more signals. The loot box screen remover, There was a situation back on the New Year's or Christmas port where there's like a spinning carousel thing that took ages to show you the next container. Yeah, this removes that. And all types of cranes loading in. Ammo customization category. This is where you can change how transparent the flak bursts are. By default, it's like this on the top, which is just you cannot see anything through it. And when there's ships with 13 flak and there's multiple of them, you just can't see anything, right? So I use medium transparency. This removes it by like 50%, so I can at least see what is going on. If you use high, it lowers it even more to like 25 to 30%. So it gets a little impossible to see, especially during high action moments. So I like to keep it on medium. Skins and appearances. The only things I really use here is the aircraft carrier camouflage for the planes, aircraft camo remover. So some of the with the like 2 or 3 years ago, they added a system where if you apply camouflage on a carrier, it'll also apply to the planes. I thought it was cool at first, but after a while, I got really tired of it, and I really wanted to see the default colors of the planes, like the dark navy blue on the US planes, for example. So this mod basically just reverts it back to this. It doesn't work for all the planes. I believe it doesn't work on the S6 early access camouflage, for example. That's like, I don't know why that doesn't work for that, but for some carriers it just doesn't work, which it's fine. It's clean still, but yeah, just keep note of that. Next one, map environment. So the map environment one, this is the one I requested, the Faroe Island map with reduced dazzle. This is the one I reached out to modders on the WoW's official server, and I'm so glad that they actually did this for me. So what this mod does is, on Faroe Islands, especially if you're on the north spawn, facing south side of the map, and you get this weather setting, which is, what is it, like a sunrise, right? It is unbearable. It's impossible to see incoming shells, whether it's HE, AP, SAP. It's just impossible, and it blinds you. So what this mod does is it keeps the same map setting, but instead it adds in a different cloud effect from a different map. So it's basically just turns it all cloudy, and you can actually see what's going on. I highly recommend this. I feel like everyone should be running this, because if you're on north spawn and you're looking at south side, you're just gonna get blinded. It's impossible to see. So this is definitely recommended for pretty much everybody. Next, sounds. I don't use any sound settings. Tweaks. So this is basically things when you're just mini config stuff for the game. Allow sounds to be heard when the game is minimized. So when you tap out, the sound is still playing. I don't know why the sound goes away by default, but it's just weird. So this brings it so that it's always playing. FPS limiter in battle. I cap mine to 144, or else it'll go to 240, because that's what my monitor refresh rate is. I don't need 240 frames for World of Warships, so I just keep it 144, which is just really smooth. And then the FPS limiter in port. Port takes up a lot of power. It eats a lot of resources. So I cap it to 75 because not much is happening. 75 is default for both the in battle and port, hence this little star. So I just keep it on 75. And other than that, that's it. Select next. Remove all the previous mods. This is very important for its clean install. Highly recommend that. Next, install, and done. Basically all finished here. So pretty much after this is all done, it'll be extracting it. It'll finish. And if you want to support the people, go ahead and do that. As for the Shinano camouflage, I will go ahead and link the Discord server in my description, and you can find it there, and you can install the mod there. Just note that there is a lot of anime style and a lot of, I would say, not safe for work type of camouflages on there. And I personally requested a clean themed Azure Lane version of that Shinano mod. So the modder, he accepted my request and he made it so. And that's the one that you see in the video. But once you install it, I'll walk you guys through on how to add it in. So this is going to be your default, like this is going to be how your World of Warships folder looks like right? All this stuff. If you have also installed my Aslains modpack, you'll also see some of the config stuff here. Now, opening up the file or the folder for the Shinano camouflage, right? Aslains Shinano, you'll basically see that there is a content folder in here. This will have all this other stuff, but the main important thing is you see content. If you go back to the World of Warships folder, you'll see a folder called bin. You just click on that, and then you'll see a few set of numbers. I don't know how many numbers you guys will see, but these numbers will basically represent what kind of patch you are running. And each patch that happens, 14.1, 14.0, right? It'll have a different folder with a different number. Usually it'll be less with how older the patch is. So for me, this is my 14.1 patch. 14.0 would have been less than this number. The highest one is your newest update. So select the highest number. You'll see a next set of folders here. Select res mods. And then here you can see the content folder. This is where all the modifications happen. This folder right here. So all you got to do is just copy this folder, and then you can just paste it in here. Replace the files, yes, replace them all, and you're done. So now, when you open up World of Warships, all right, and here we are. And there we go, all set. Everything looks good. Very nice. It actually looks like an actual Aslains Shinano camo, which looks very clean, very nice to see. But yeah, as you can see, there's my resources up here, my research bureau points, my coal, my steel, and my community tokens. So everything is working properly. If you do have any type of bugs or issues that come up when you're playing, like crashes, open up the safe mode again just to double check it's not your hardware. And if it does work from there, then that's how you know it's your modification issue. You can always ask questions in the Moz official server regarding the mod forums section and ask them, try to figure out which mod is causing the issue. So that is going to be it. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, link the Shinano Discord, the modder Discord in my description and in my comments. So feel free to join his server, and if you want, support him, follow him. He opened up a Ko-fi, so you can feel free to donate to him or subscribe to him. Let him know, and just that his work is very appreciated, because he does all of this for free. He has a ton of modifications that he takes requests to regarding camos. Yeah, he's just overall a great person. So join the server, let him know that you like the Aslains camouflage, and yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.